Even the least depressed, most positive people in your life still get into funks. They get into these moods, they feel low, they feel blue. It's just part of being human. If you are in a funk right now and you're feeling sort of like, whoa, life, everything feels bland and gray and nothing sounds good and I'm gross and things sound boring, that's just normal and it's okay, and you are not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. I will say though that Funky Town is not the funnest place to be, so if you want to get out of Funky Town, there's some things I think you can do rather than just sort of stewing there and feeling really sorry for yourself and having a big pity party about who knows what. I'm guilty of this all the same. There's this very basic first step that I always do if I notice that I have these sort of recurring negative thoughts. I simply just smile every time I recognize that I have a negative thought. This is doing two things. First, it's getting me out of the negative spiral that I've sent myself in, and it's just noticing that I'm having negative thoughts. And the second thing it does is it's faking it till you make it, which is this phenomenon. Our postures, our bodies, what we're doing with our physical movements actually change how we feel on the inside. So every time you have this negative thought, try just bringing a small smile to your face. It doesn't mean you have to like have this big cheesy smiling for a camera sort of smile. It could just be something really simple like this. And the physical changes in your face actually helps dramatically. If you've ever been on a long run or you're training for a half marathon or a full marathon, you'll know that in the darkest, hardest moments where you're just trying to get that last mile done, the best thing you can do is smile, even though it's the last thing you initially want to do. Step number 2 is to stop complaining altogether, even if you think it's justified, even if you have every right to complain about something. This is because complaining does nothing except make it worse. It's not actually going to help you. I'll give you a great example. Eric and I moved into this house in May, and it came with its own set of surprises. It's an old house. We knew it needed a little bit of love because it had some little quirks, but what we did not know, because we moved in the spring, is we're now in the winter time, is it's a really cold house. It has zero insulation. There's no subfloor, meaning it's just wooden planks on top of a raised foundation, and I have a climate inside my house. I swear I have like wind on my face sometimes, and we don't have a heater. So I have been complaining a lot, and I've complained to you, I've complained to my family, and no one's like told me to stop complaining, but I'm annoyed of myself. It's not actually helping anything. How does complaining help at all? It just makes it worse. And neurologically, the more you focus on something, the more of that you get in your life. So I'm just focusing on how cold I am, and so I'm like making myself colder. Are you ever in a really cold environment and you just picture yourself warm on a tropical beach somewhere, and it actually helps? Another thing about complaining is it is the opposite of action. So if there's something going on in your job or in your school or with a teacher or something that's making you feel so frustrated that you just feel the need to complain to everyone you know about this injustice that you have suffered, rather than complain about it, just stop. Just stop altogether, and action may be required. So with my cold house, I had to take action. I wear like multiple layers. I have a space heater now, and I put a rug down to try to insulate the floor a little bit. If you feel unsatisfied with something in your life, rather than complain about it, take action, find a solution, and take that first step. The next step is sort of similar. This is about blame. As humans, I know it's our second nature to blame everyone for everything. You get cut off on the freeway and you want to blame that driver. Rather than blaming, just stop. Even though you know in your head, in your heart, it's totally justified that it's the other person's fault. Or maybe it's not even a person, maybe it's an event that happened in your life, and everything that is wrong in your life right now is because of what happened. Stop blaming that event, stop blaming that person. It just makes things worse. It doesn't actually make anything better for you. It's not gonna make you feel better, and it's not gonna bring any positivity to your life. And I think we know this, and I think we just need some reminders sometimes. I heard a shot. Is that a gunshot? I'm scared of my own neighborhood. By the way, that's my cat, and that's my laundry. It's laundry day. Step number 4 is to exercise. I know this might feel like kind of a cliche, or you've heard it a lot, like, hey, if you're not feeling well, go for a walk, go for a run, but it really does work. I will say too, if you just don't feel like exercising, I think this requires a lot of mental strength to just get yourself out the door. A lot of us feel low in the wintertime because there's not a lot of sunshine and we don't get that, you know, those good vibes outside. I don't know what that was. So just going outside, getting some sun on your skin if you do have a nice day, or even if it's a gloomy day, and just going for a walk, jog, run, bike ride, swim, canoe, anything that you please. But I do have one particular exercise that is very beneficial for myself. It's yoga. Now, it's not just yoga, specifically a solar plexus practice. This is referring to your solar plexus chakra, which is right here where that soft spot is. That's your solar plexus. It's basically your core. And these are yoga practices that focus a lot on your core, a lot of planks, a lot of heart opening as well. Your solar plexus is related to your confidence and your power. And if you're feeling in a funk and you're feeling really low about yourself and you're just bored of everything and life feels blah, if you do a solar plexus practice, I can almost guarantee you're gonna feel that vibration again and feel warm and alive. And coincidentally, the element for solar plexus is the sun, the chakra element, and yeah, I'm just kind of making that connection now. The sun makes us feel so powerful and confident. My fifth step is potentially controversial because I'm gonna tell you to go shopping. Now, shopping makes many of us feel very good because it's something new, it's exciting, it's a distraction. However, just going shopping when you feel crappy, I don't think is a very good habit. You can get into a lot of credit card debt. We've seen this with Lily on How I Met Your Mother. I'm rewatching that right now. However, I will say that secondhand shopping can be a great alternative to get you out of the house and do something kind of fun and interesting but really low cost and not bad for the environment. Next step is gratitude. We all know we should be more grateful, but I think that a lot of us forget to practice it, and it really becomes something you have to practice. So if you're feeling particularly funky, I would suggest a gratitude challenge where you have a notebook and you write down 3 pages, single spaced, of all the things that you're grateful for, and don't stop, like stream of consciousness morning page style, because this will remind you of all the wonderful things in your life and the fact that you probably have things a lot better than a lot of other people in the world. When you focus on gratitude and what you're grateful for, try not to just be generic, you know, like my friends and my family and my dog. These are wonderful things, but get really specific. For example, I am so grateful for my mom because she is always there for me and always picks up the phone when I need her. Gratitude is the opposite of complaining and blaming. It is the opposite of the victim mindset. It is the most empowering and beautiful practice that you can have by recognizing everything that you're grateful for. Step number 7 is the people you surround yourself with. If you are in funky town with all these other funky folk, I would say those funky folk are keeping you in a funky town because misery loves company. You know, we love to just complain all the time together. But if you go outside to your most positive friends and you start talking about your negative stuff, they kind of get impatient because they don't want to be around that negativity, right? So if you could go talk to your positive friends and just tell them, I really need a pep talk, I'm getting all in this negative spiral. My next step, I think we're on step number 8. Honestly, I don't think you're gonna like it. You're probably gonna want to turn off this video, and that's okay. Take a cold shower. Hear me out. I know, I'm the one who hates the cold. A cold shower can do wonders if you're in that sort of mild funk town. A cold shower is uncomfortable and it gets you out of your head because you're like, whoo, 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 and it feels so refreshing. It's sort of like dipping your whole body in Listerine and you feel a little bit like whew, alive and awake. Number 9 is to dance. This is sort of like exercising, but with some fun music. And actually, I have a couple playlists on Spotify. You're welcome to use them. The particular playlist I will recommend to you is called Get Dressed Hannah. I created this maybe 3 years ago, back when I had a regular job, when I had to wear regular clothes. Wearing clothes is kind of a burden to me, and so I had to really motivate myself to get dressed in the morning. So I put on this playlist that I could like distract myself with dancing and hip hop. Dancing is just one of those things, just like with, you know, running or the solar plexus practice or a cold shower, that gets you out of your head and makes you feel a lot better. This is my last this is my last tip or idea or step, I don't know what I'm calling them, for getting out of your funk, is to just honestly let yourself be in your funk, and that's fine. It is okay to feel blue, it's okay to feel down. You don't have to be perfectly happy all the time. I personally take issue with the happiness objective, this message we're given, especially I think in my generation, that you have to be happy all the time, and if something's making you unhappy, then you must quit it. I mean, I have so many thoughts on this, but particularly if you're just feeling low for a day, for a week even, it's okay. Let yourself feel funky. Watch your favorite Harry Potter movie or read your favorite Harry Potter book. Or if you're not a fan, I assume you haven't read them, so just start with book 1. Or if Harry Potter's not your cup of tea and you have no taste, then maybe you can move on to, you know, whatever your favorite escapist film is. There's always Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, which I'll allow. The point is just to not worry about it. It's okay. This is something for me, was a really big issue. If I ever felt less than awesome, I felt guilty about not feeling amazing. That is all for me. I wish you the best of luck for feeling less funky or feeling more funky, or, you know, it's really up to you. Oh wait, I just thought of another one. Delete social media.